The Porsche Cayenne. Not one of life's prettier cars, but remarkably one of Porsche's best sellers. This particular model is their first ever diesel, and as ever, I've devised 3 deeply practical tests to figure out whether this £40,000 oil burner is actually any good. Test 1. Does it make financial sense? The petrol Cayenne has an MPG figure of 21.9, which means that it should cost you 19.5 pence per mile to run. Now, the diesel actually does 30.4 miles per gallon, so that means it will cost you 15.2 pence per mile to fuel it. So all looking good for the diesel, until you realise that the petrol Cayenne actually only costs £36,800. And the cheapest diesel costs £39,400. Now that's nearly a £3 difference. Now, doing a bit of mental maths, that means you have to travel 60,465 miles before you break even with the diesel. So, test 1. Does the diesel Cayenne make sense? Well, not if you do the sums. Test 2. Is it still a Porsche? Nothing to do with economics here, purely engine and handling feel. So let's look at the facts. Up front, we've got a V6 3-litre diesel that's the same one as in the Volkswagen Touareg. Now that's really good news because it means that it takes 8.3 seconds to get to 62 miles an hour, which is actually 0.2 seconds faster than the V6 petrol. There's only one problem that I can see, and that's that a Porsche should sing and get better as the revs build. Because this is a diesel, it only revs to about 5,000 RPM, and even though it's grunty and it feels fast, it's just not very Porsche. Fail. Diesel isn't cool, so test 3 is designed to see whether the man on the street can figure out whether or not you've bought the boring economical model. For a start, there are no diesel badges anywhere on this car. Good. And then on startup, there are no plumes of pure industrial revolution coming straight out of the exhausts. Again, this is good. Finally, Porsches should sound sweet and sporty. Let's find out whether people can figure out this is a diesel. If I rev it, what do you think? Petrol or diesel?
I'd say diesel.
Diesel?
Petrol.
Petrol?
Yeah.
I think it's a petrol.
Sounds like petrol.
Sounds petrol, doesn't it? Diesel, I would say.
Diesel.
Diesel.
Diesel, why?
Because of the noise.
So, test 3. It's very hard to tell that this car is a diesel. Porsche wins. So, the Porsche Cayenne diesel. It's an exceptional diesel SUV, but it's not quite as cheap to run as you might imagine, and it's also not a very good Porsche. For that reason, 7 out of 10.